Hello my friends! In today's video, we'll continue the previous session with João Brandão here at Arda Recorders Studio A. So please make sure you have seen the last one in the studio number 2 prior to this one. And here we go.
Bass station, so we have a lot of pedals here, and the bass amp is placed in another booth, which is there. We're using actually a huge bass amp, which I usually don't use in the studio because we don't need that much volume. But we're using this orange amp with a cab, with an 810 cab, and it's
really big.
It's really big and it sounds really good. The bass player is very good, very tight. So it's, I mean, 90% of the bass sound is the way the bass player plays. So it's working really well. It's just a Neumann 47 FET here. Also running Designs DI, just to have something a little. Well, if I can reamp later, but I didn't want to use a clean DI because this just sounds good. So if everything fails, I'll just use the Designs DI and
they sound great.
They sound great.
They're like an Ampeg in a box.
So I'll have another bass sound right away. And the keyboard station. So the band is pretty much figuring out what to play in the session. So we have a lot of options. We have Fender Rhodes, an old Farfisa, we have a digital station so you can use synths and weird sounds, and this is pretty much running through DIs. And but since the DIs could be a little, I mean, the digital sounds can be a little sterile, what I'm using is I'm running this through coil preamps, which are tube preamps with a lot of character. So this is going in through a lot of tubes, and I try to saturate the sound a little bit so it doesn't sound as plasticky, which sometimes can sound while using VSTs. So those are running through tube preamps with a bit of saturation, and those are also running through other tube preamps, but not as saturated. It's just a matter of capturing because the Rhodes sounds good as it is, and the Farfisa as well. But so I'm trying to capture it in a cleanish way, but with a bit of color. So then I can reamp it through amplifiers or wherever if needed. But this is a simple station that's serving its purpose really well. And last but not the least, the guitar station, which is always the most confusing space in the room. So a lot of guitars and a lot of pedals, and we have the amps here. We ended up using this custom Marshall amp, and for miking I'm using the Neumann UM57 tube microphone, and I think this is an M201 biodynamic, I guess. This is yours, so you should know.
Yeah, it's 2-1. It's a dynamic
microphone.
Great microphone.
Yeah, I'm using. Actually, I usually don't use both. I don't really like the sound of trying to mic an amplifier with 2 microphones. It's usually maybe I'm lazy, but I think it's not worth it, all the phase issues and all that stuff. So I'd rather spend more time placing the microphones in the correct position. But I'm using both because on some songs I need this sound, and other songs I need that sound. So I'll have both. I'll mute the one I'm not using, but I'm pretty sure I won't end up using both for the mix. So we have other amps for trying out different parts, but right now we're just staying with the Marshall because it's been working out great so far. It's a bit loud. It's always loud, but so being in this booth kind of helps because, like I said, most of the drum sound comes from the room, and if I had the amp in the room for this, it would be kind of able.
Yeah, but you keeping the doors closed?
The doors aren't usually closed, except last night we did a song where the guitar player needed to have some feedback on the amp, so he needed to get close to the amplifier. So for that song we needed to open the door, and it would run from this station to the amp to feedback, and then back to his station so he could see the singer. So he was running around in the studio, and hopefully no microphones were damaged in the process because all the headphone cables and guitar cables were tangled up, but he managed to do it. So this is it in terms of microphone placement.
It's great.
Yeah.
I bet it's sounding really good too.
It sounded really good. This room is very breathes a lot, so it's and it's very comfortable to have all the players in the same room. And I think we're okay. We're doing fine.
Great. What about the echo chamber?
I'm not using the echo chamber for now. I might be running some stuff to it.
Okay.
But for now, I tried with the door open, but it's not a sound that works for this recording. So I needed a tighter sound for the drums with just air, because if I started compressing too much, which I knew I would want to do, compressing to start the drums, this echo chamber, which is so long, it would make the song kind of muddy, you know, because compressing this big reverb didn't work for me this time.
It's always tempting.
It's tempting, and I did try it, but it's not something for this tracks. It's not the best approach.
I guess when this was planned,
yeah,
one never thought of having the door open almost all the time.
All the time. Every time people record in the studio, this is always open, which is cool. But it's here, but we don't have to use it all the time. So, but it's really something that I'm probably gonna use it to feed some keyboards through the speakers, keyboards and guitar. I'm gonna feed the sounds through the echo chamber before we leave the studio, because I want to have this nice long reverb, which is gonna be great for some guitars. We're not doing overdubs on this song, so on this session, so they want it to be as live as possible. So it's just one guitar, one keyboard, one bass player, and a drummer and a singer. That's it. So no guitar overdubs or anything.
The real deal.
The goal was to have like a live performance in the studio with studio sound, but we're not gonna use another. We're not gonna put in a lot of layers on top of it. So. I'm gonna probably try to reamp some stuff to the echo chamber through different amplifiers, so during the mix we have a bit more textures to work with, but it's gonna be a very simple performance.
Nice, very nice. So let's check out the control room.
Yeah, sure.
So here we are at the control room.
Yeah.
All the choices of little toys, big toys, huge toys,
warm toys.
So how did you go as far as preamps and
so everything
routing?
It's running through the Neve console. I'm pretty much using most of the microphones are being amplified by those preamps. So everything, drums, I think most of it actually. The only thing it's not running through here, it's the bass and the guitars, which I'm using the Spectrasonics preamplifiers, which are they have a really electric sound, which is really nice, and they're responding really well to transients. So I tried those, and it's working out really great. So the microphone is being amplified by this, and this goes into the line inputs of the Neve, because I want to have everything on the faders, so I can ride the faders during the performance. And like I said before, the keyboards are running through the coil amplifiers, with quite a bit of gain on the digital station. So I'm running in line, because the keyboard station is it's coming out as line level, so it's really nice if the coils have the line option instead of just microphone, so it just warms up the sound a little bit. And those are going back into the Neve, so the Neve is feeding the Pro Tools rig. And I have some compressors going on as well, some, like I said, parallel compressors, so 1176s and the comp limiters and overseer stuff. Those are hanging from the buses of the Neve, so I just choose for different songs. I choose what gets sent into the compressors, and I record the output of the compressors and through Pro Tools. So the only thing I have in line, I think, is I have this BG2, the silent dynamic compressor. I have it on vocals. So just to tame it a little bit, it can be quite transparent. So
is it a tube compressor?
It's a tube compressor, yeah. I think it's based on an old Altec, and it's just there just so we can tame a little bit the vocals, but not too much. And the vocals are being processed in parallel through the Ampex, which is here, which is distorting very much. And then because I'm using it, I'm fitting a line signal to it. And the output of the Ampex I'm compressing through with the 176, because it was so dynamic and so distorted, and this makes it a bit more stable, so it doesn't break out as much. And I kind of need this to attenuate it before going to Pro Tools, because since it's so distorted on the Ampex, it was just too high the level, and this kind of tames it down a little bit. And I'm also recording some effects as we go. So I'm using the Bricassi for reverb, mostly for vocals, and I have also the Eventide, the BSP 4500, yes, and as an harmonizer, and also the PCM 42. So when she's singing, she's already hearing all this delays and harmonizer and effects. I'm recording this, so coming mix time, the sound is pretty much there.
Makes it easy.
It makes it easy, yeah. I mean, and they, like I said, they sing differently if they know how it's gonna sound when it's done. So, lastly, I have this. This is my personal mix bus, which I have hanging on the rough mix. So when the band comes into the control room, I turn it on, and it's just like it kind of makes it sound a bit more finished. So it's always nice when the bands come into the control room, it sounds better, you know, so they get more inspired to do the next take. So this is just a BG1 from Island Dynamics as well, which is pretty much the stereo version of the one I'm using for vocals. It's a tube compressor, and I have this Giraffe, very simple equalizer, which I love. It's pretty much a tilt equalizer, so it's more treble, less bass, or more bass, less treble, but it does have a little control of 3-band EQ. I'm just using to make it a little more polished.
Very nice, Ron. I thank you so much for your
Thank
time,
you.
and it's looking great. I bet it's sounding great too.
It's sounding good, yeah. Hopefully we'll manage to do all the songs. Today's the last day for this live stuff, and tomorrow the French band, the French part of the band is going home, and I think we'll do just acoustic songs tomorrow. So with a totally different setup. So we're gonna do this record today, and tomorrow we'll do another record, which I don't know what it's gonna be, but we'll find out. We'll find out
life
tomorrow.
in the studio.
Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So yeah, my friends, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this session. Please subscribe, share to your friends, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.